Have you ever wondered how something as small and ordinary as a 1-cent coin could end up being worth an unbelievable fortune that could change a life forever? Well, today we are diving into the fascinating story of the 1990 USA 1-cent coin, a coin that has gained legendary status in the world of collectors and rare currency hunters because of its unimaginable value. With a face worth of only a penny yet commanding an estimated price of $202 million due to its stunning combination of errors, striking mistakes, and historical quirks that make it one of the most valuable coins in American history. And as we explore every twist and turn of this incredible journey, you will realize why this coin has become a symbol of mystery and treasure. So imagine for a moment holding a tiny copper-plated zinc piece in your hand, minted in Denver in 1990, that looks almost like every other penny you've ever seen, but hidden within its design, its strike, and its imperfections lies a story so rich and unbelievable that collectors across the globe dream of discovering one in their pocket change. And it all starts with the peculiarities of the minting process that year, because the US Mint was undergoing technological adjustments and quality control experiments in the late 1980s and early 1990s, which resulted in a number of anomalies, some subtle and some glaring, finding their way into circulation. And the 1990 1-cent is rumored to have suffered from multiple layered errors like double striking, off-center impressions, weak strikes, misaligned dies, and planchette mix-ups that have made certain examples radically different from the average penny, with the rarest of the rare showing combinations of mistakes so unique that experts describe them as one-of-a-kind minting accidents. And it is precisely those accidents that push its value into the hundreds of millions, because collectors know that rarity combined with historic intrigue translates directly into astronomical worth. Now let's take a closer look at the possibilities, because some 1990 cents have been reported with ghostly doubling in Lincoln's profile, while others show dramatic die cracks snaking across the surface like lightning bolts frozen in metal. And others still are said to display off-metal errors where the coin was accidentally struck on a foreign planchette or on a blank meant for a dime or nickel, instantly creating a hybrid coin that defies the norm. And each of these quirks makes the coin stand out as more than just a piece of small change. It becomes a relic of minting history, a once-in-a-lifetime treasure that investors and enthusiasts alike are willing to bid millions for. And when you combine these factors with the simple truth that very few of these era coins have survived in pristine condition, the rarity skyrockets, making the coin's potential value practically limitless. So why $202 million, you might ask? And the answer lies in both the scarcity and the frenzy of competition among collectors who want to own the crown jewel of the penny world. Because coin auctions have shown time and again that when two or more determined buyers decide they must have a coin, the price climbs to levels no one thought possible. And in this case, the 1990 cent, with its extreme rarity, historical backstory, and striking mistakes, has been elevated to a level that commands attention from museums, private investors, and passionate hobbyists alike. And imagine if you stumbled upon one of these coins in a jar of old change at home or while searching through rolls from the bank. The idea that a single penny could open the door to generational wealth is part of the allure, and it's what drives so many people to keep searching, because every pocket, every drawer, every coin roll holds the possibility of yielding a treasure, and in the case of the 1990 that treasure could be life-changing. So picture the errors in more detail, like a double die obverse where Lincoln's face appears shadowed by a second image slightly offset, or a broad strike error where the coin lacks the raised rim and looks like it spread out unevenly during the minting process, or perhaps a clipped planchette error where part of the coin's edge is missing due to a misfeed in the press. And even stranger examples are rumored where the reverse memorial building appears smeared, distorted, or even missing certain details like incomplete steps or blurred inscriptions. And these mistakes might sound small, but to collectors they are massive, because each flaw tells the story of how the coin escaped the mint's rigorous inspections and entered circulation. And when you consider how few survive in high grade, you start to see why the market places astronomical numbers on them. And the beauty of this story is that the coin remains accessible in the imagination of everyday people, because unlike coins minted in tiny proof runs or hidden away in government vaults, the 1990 cent was produced in the millions and sent into circulation, meaning that in theory, one could still surface in change today, and that thought keeps the dream alive for so many treasure hunters. So think about this: a penny that cost almost nothing to make, struck in the millions, now potentially worth more than some of the world's most famous paintings or jewels, and yet it remains small enough to slip into a pocket. And that is the magic of coin collecting, the blend of history, luck, and rarity that transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. So as we expand on this journey, let's dive into the wider world of 1990D errors, because collectors report repunched mint marks where the D was stamped more than once, creating a shadow effect, or struck through errors where debris like grease or fibers got between the die and the blank, leaving ghost-like impressions across the coin, or even transitional planchette errors where leftover blanks from previous years were accidentally used, and each of these errors adds a layer of fascination to the 1990DS story, and when combined with the frenzy of collectors hunting for them, the value only continues to climb. And while many coins remain modestly priced even with errors, the extreme rarity of certain combinations pushes this particular penny into the stratosphere, making it a $202 million phenomenon. And what's incredible is that this coin has captured attention worldwide, not just in America, because coin enthusiasts from Europe, Asia, and beyond are intrigued by its legend, and as news spreads, more people become inspired to dig through old coin jars, creating a ripple effect where the myth of the 1990D cent grows larger and larger, and the stories of discoveries only fuel the excitement, like people claiming to find odd varieties in circulation and rushing to have them authenticated, only to discover they own something special. And even if not every discovery is worth millions, the thrill of the hunt keeps the fire alive. And as you listen to this story, you can feel the excitement too, because the idea that you might already have a coin like this sitting quietly among ordinary change is irresistible. And that is why the legend of the 1990D continues to trend and go viral, because people love the idea of hidden treasure waiting to be found in the most ordinary places. So imagine the future auction where a pristine 1990D era coin with the rarest combination of mistakes is presented to the world, and the bidding war begins, numbers climbing higher and higher, surpassing paintings, surpassing diamonds, surpassing anything previously thought possible for a single penny, until finally the hammer falls at $202 million, cementing its place in history as the most valuable cent ever known. And the room erupts with astonishment, and that story becomes one more piece of the legend that keeps people talking, keeps people searching, and keeps people dreaming. So as you sit with this thought, remember that sometimes the most incredible treasures are hidden in plain sight, waiting to be discovered. And if you have coins tucked away in jars, drawers, or boxes, take a second look, because you never know what secrets they hold. And who knows, maybe you are already the unsuspecting owner of a fortune disguised as a penny. So if you enjoyed this journey into the unbelievable story of the 1990D 1 cent coin worth $202 million, make sure you like this video, subscribe for more amazing stories of rare coins and hidden treasures, and join us again as we continue uncovering the fascinating world where small change becomes big money. Next, 1997 1 cent USA coin. Have you ever thought about how a single ordinary-looking penny could completely change your life forever? How something that most people ignore and toss aside as just another coin in their pocket could actually be hiding an extraordinary story of wealth, rarity, and unbelievable value? Well, that's exactly what makes the 1997 USA 1 cent coin so fascinating, because behind its simple copper-plated zinc appearance lies one of the most incredible tales in coin collecting history. A coin with a face value of just 1 cent, but one that has been valued at an astonishing $24 million thanks to the rare combination of minting errors, production anomalies, and historical circumstances that make it not only one of the rarest coins of its era but also one of the most desirable pieces for collectors and investors around the world. And the story of why this 1997 cent is so valuable begins with the unique conditions of the US Mint during that period when technology was shifting, machines were being updated, and quality control was not always perfect, which meant that errors slipped through that today are worth fortunes. And if you imagine holding this coin in your hand, you would think it looks like any other penny with Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But upon closer inspection, you would notice subtle yet dramatic differences, things like doubled dies where Lincoln's profile shows ghost-like shadows, or repunched mint marks where the letter seems to have been stamped more than once, or dramatic die cracks running across the coin like lightning frozen in metal, and sometimes even off-center strikes where part of the design is missing or pushed to one side. Each of these errors creating a unique fingerprint that transforms the coin into something priceless, and collectors absolutely love these anomalies because they know that rarity drives value. So when you have a coin like the 1997 cent that not only features errors but also survives in pristine high-grade condition, it becomes a once-in-a-lifetime treasure worth millions. Now think about this for a moment. A coin that cost less than a cent to produce, created in the billions. Yet a handful of examples stand apart from the crowd because of accidents during production. Accidents that went unnoticed at the time but decades later are recognized as jewels in the world of numismatics. And it's these mistakes that push the price of the coin to $24 million because the combination of rarity, demand, and fascination drives collectors to compete, raising the stakes higher and higher at auctions. And let's imagine the possibilities in more detail because some 1997 cents are said to have been struck on the wrong planchette, meaning instead of being made on the correct copper-plated zinc blank they were struck on a foreign coin blank or even on a dime planchette, instantly creating a bizarre coin with mismatched weight, thickness, and appearance. And others show broad strike errors where the coin was struck outside the collar resulting in a stretched, pancake-like appearance, or clipped planchets where parts of the rim are missing creating crescent-shaped gaps. And then there are the dramatic double die reverses where the words United States of America or the Lincoln Memorial columns appear shadowed and blurred, a sign of a die that was not properly prepared. And while to the untrained eye these may seem like minor imperfections, to collectors they represent the very essence of rarity because they are anomalies that cannot be replicated and are unlikely to exist in large numbers, making them treasures of the highest order. And think about how many pennies from 1997 still exist today, billions upon billions, yet only a tiny fraction carry such incredible mistakes, and within that fraction only a few are preserved in gem condition, making them worth unimaginable amounts. So when you hear that one of these coins has been valued at $24 million, it makes sense because it is literally a once-in-a-generation discovery. And the excitement around these coins doesn't stop with collectors because ordinary people are inspired by stories of everyday change turning into life-changing fortunes, sparking a frenzy of treasure hunting where people dig through jars, drawers, and old piggy banks hoping to find one. And the stories of discoveries keep fueling the hype, like when someone claims to find a double die penny and rushes to have it authenticated, and whether it turns out to be worth hundreds or millions, the thrill of the search keeps the legend alive. And that's what makes the 1997 1 cent so viral and trending today because it embodies the dream of finding wealth in the most unexpected places. And when you dive deeper into its details you realize that the appeal is not only in its errors but also in its history, because the late 1990s marked a period where coin collecting was starting to grow with new generations, and as these coins circulated, few thought to preserve them, which means even fewer high-grade examples exist now, increasing their rarity. And consider the role of grading agencies like PCGS and NGC which certify the authenticity and quality of these coins. Because when a 1997 cent with dramatic errors is graded at the highest levels, its value multiplies dramatically, making it even more desirable. And auction houses have seen fierce bidding wars over coins that combine rarity with high grade. sometimes pushing prices into the millions and shocking the world with just how valuable a penny can become. And in the case of the 1997 cent, the highest tier of rarity and condition has elevated it to $24 million, making it a coin that stands shoulder to shoulder with the most famous treasures of history. And what's even more fascinating is the possibility that more of these coins are still out there waiting to be discovered, maybe sitting in someone's old change jar or hiding in circulation. And that possibility is what fuels excitement across social media and online communities where people share stories, photos, and discoveries hoping they might be the lucky ones to strike it rich. And you can just imagine the electricity in the air at a major coin auction when a 1997 cent of this caliber is revealed. The anticipation building, the bidding climbing higher and higher, breaking records and making headlines as the hammer finally falls at $24 million, cementing its legacy as one of the most valuable pennies in American history. And this is why people cannot stop talking about it. Why the 1997 1-cent coin continues to trend. Because it is not just about the money but also about the magic of discovery, the thrill of turning something so ordinary into something extraordinary. And that's why every coin hunter and collector dreams of finding one. And you too could be part of this story if you simply take a closer look at the coins around you. Because you never know what secrets they hold, and maybe, just maybe, you are already holding a fortune in disguise. So if you enjoyed this incredible story of the 1997 1-cent USA coin with its face value of only a penny but worth an astonishing $24 million thanks to its rare errors and historical uniqueness, don't forget to like this video. Subscribe for more amazing stories about rare coins and hidden treasures, and stay tuned as we continue exploring the unbelievable world where the smallest change can become the biggest fortune. Next 2005 1-cent USA coin. Today we are going to uncover the astonishing story of the 2005 1-cent coin from the United States, a coin so small and ordinary looking yet carrying such enormous hidden value that it has stunned collectors, investors, and treasure hunters all around the world because despite its face value being only a penny, this particular cent has been valued at an incredible $120 million thanks to its rare combination of minting errors, historical quirks, and once-in-a-lifetime mistakes that make it one of the most valuable coins in history. And as you listen to this story you will realize why this coin has become the stuff of legends, because it represents the perfect blend of rarity, demand, and mystery. So imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out what looks like an everyday coin, only to discover you are holding something worth more than mansions, supercars, or even some of the world's most famous paintings. And that is the kind of possibility that keeps this coin trending and viral among collectors and ordinary people alike. So let's dive deep into the endless details that explain how the 2005 1-cent could possibly reach a value as high as $120 million and what kinds of errors and mistakes could have occurred at the US Mint to create such a legendary treasure. Because during 2005 the minting process relied on massive production runs to churn out billions of coins to satisfy circulation needs, but in the chaos of such enormous numbers even small slips could result in extraordinary anomalies that today command jaw-dropping sums at auctions. So let's explore the kinds of errors found on this coin that make it so special. First, there are the double die errors where the obverse or reverse design appears duplicated like a shadow etched into the coin. On some examples Lincoln's profile is seen twice slightly shifted, or the lettering in "I and God, We Trust and Liberty" shows faint but clear doubling. These varieties are incredibly sought after because they represent a flaw in die preparation that should have been caught but somehow slipped into circulation. Then there are off-center strikes where the design is shifted drastically so that part of Lincoln's face or part of the memorial on the reverse is missing. Some off-center coins retain a full visible date, which makes them even more valuable because collectors can easily identify the year and mint mark while marveling at the dramatic misalignment. Then we have broad strike errors where the coin is struck without the retaining collar, causing it to expand outward and appear flattened like a misshapen disc. These too are rare and attractive to collectors. But the real jackpot comes when multiple errors occur together. Imagine a 2005 cent that is both off-center and a double die or one struck on the wrong planchette altogether. Because reports exist of 2005 cents struck on dime planchets, making them smaller, lighter, and with parts of the design cut off, such dramatic wrong planchette. Errors are instant treasures worth millions on their own, and when you factor in condition, with high-grade examples surviving almost untouched since leaving the mint, you can see how a perfect storm of rarity and quality elevates this coin to legendary status. And while billions of 2005 pennies were minted, the number of surviving error coins of this magnitude is vanishingly small, creating extreme demand whenever one surfaces, and demand is what drives the value skyward because collectors, investors, and even museums compete fiercely to acquire these treasures, often pushing auction prices into territory no one thought possible. And that is exactly how a humble 1-cent piece can end up commanding a value of $120 million, because when something is unique, historical, and desired by more than one wealthy bidder, the sky is the limit. And think about the fascinating possibilities that make the 2005 cent so valuable, like repunched mint marks where the letter D or P was stamped twice, creating a clear shadow, struck through grease errors where debris on the die caused parts of the design to vanish into ghostly blank spaces, die cracks that form raised lines across the surface making each coin distinct, or even mule errors where the obverse of the 2005 penny could have been accidentally paired with a reverse from another denomination entirely. And though such mules are extremely rare, they have been documented throughout US mint history and always cause a frenzy when discovered. So imagine the impact of a 2005 penny mule coin surfacing at an auction. It would immediately become a record breaker, and that record-breaking potential is what excites collectors worldwide, because not only does it tell a story of a mistake frozen in metal, but it also represents a piece of American history that slipped through the cracks. And as the legend of the 2005 cent grows, more and more people search through their change hoping to find one, because stories of life-changing discoveries inspire millions, and you can picture someone finding one in an old jar at home, getting it authenticated, and realizing they are suddenly holding a treasure worth more than they ever dreamed possible. And that thrill of possibility is what keeps the hype alive. Now imagine the scene at a world-class auction when one of these error coins appears. Experts marvel at its uniqueness, collectors whisper with excitement, and as bidding starts it climbs past thousands, past millions, and into tens of millions, each new bid shocking the audience until finally the hammer falls at $120 million, a record that makes headlines around the world and cements the coin's place in history forever. And that is why this penny is not just a coin but a phenomenon, because it symbolizes how something so small and overlooked can hide unimaginable value. And it's why treasure hunters everywhere are inspired to keep searching, because the dream of turning a penny into a fortune is irresistible. So, let's think more deeply about why this coin specifically has captured attention. Because the year 2005 marked a time when many Americans were not paying close attention to small change. Most people spent pennies without a second thought, meaning that error coins were likely to circulate and become worn down or lost, making pristine examples incredibly rare today. And the rarity of high-grade examples combined with unusual mistakes creates a perfect storm of desirability, and grading companies like PCGS and NGC play a crucial role in confirming authenticity and condition, with coins certified at the highest grades commanding exponentially higher prices. And when one of these 2005 cents comes back graded as MS70 with dramatic errors, its price skyrockets into the stratosphere, and collectors know that they are not only buying a coin but also securing a piece of numismatic history that will only increase in value over time, because coins like this are not just currency, they are artifacts, and artifacts with a story as compelling as the 2005 cent only grow more legendary with each passing year. And as people continue to spread stories online, in communities, and across social media, the myth of the $120 million penny grows larger, trending with every retelling, and sparking new waves of excitement and searches, because everyone loves the idea of treasure hidden in plain sight. So if you think about it, the 2005 1-cent coin has everything it needs to remain one of the top viral stories in the coin collecting world. It has rarity, it has mistakes that fascinate experts, it has historical timing that makes survival unlikely, and it has the allure of life-changing wealth that keeps ordinary people checking their change. And that's why this coin has become such a phenomenon. A simple penny transformed into a symbol of hidden fortune. A reminder that sometimes the most valuable things are the ones we overlook every day. So as we wrap this journey into the incredible story of the 2005 1-cent coin worth $120 million, remember that treasures don't always come in the form of gold or jewels. Sometimes they come disguised as small change, waiting for the right eyes to recognize their worth. So if you enjoyed learning about this amazing coin, make sure you like this video. Subscribe for more unbelievable stories about rare coins and hidden treasures, and keep watching because we will continue to bring you the most fascinating tales where ordinary objects become extraordinary fortunes. Last 2017 P1 USA coin, where we uncover the unbelievable story of the 2017 P1 coin from the United States. A coin that on the surface looks like just another ordinary penny that most people would pass over without a second glance, but in reality has become one of the most fascinating and talked about treasures in modern coin history, because of its stunning rarity, mysterious errors, and mind-blowing value that has collectors, investors, and everyday people buzzing with excitement, as this coin that cost almost nothing to make has been valued at a staggering $20 million thanks to the unique mistakes and anomalies that slipped through the minting process. And before we dig into the details, you should know that the 2017 P penny itself is already historic because it was the first and only year the United States Mint placed a visible P mint mark on a circulating Lincoln cent to honor the 225th anniversary of the US Mint, making every coin from that year automatically stand out as a once-in-a-lifetime design choice. But on top of that, there were unexpected and dramatic errors that took place in the Philadelphia Mint, which turned a handful of these coins from special collectibles into multi-million-dollar treasures. And when you think about the billions of coins struck that year, it seems impossible that a few could be worth more than the most expensive luxury cars or even some mansions. But that is the beauty of numismatics, because small mistakes can change everything. So imagine holding a 2017 P penny in your hand and noticing something just a little strange, like doubling on Lincoln's portrait where his profile appears to be shadowed, or the words "I and God we trust" looking doubled and slightly blurred. These double die errors are among the most famous and valuable mistakes because they come directly from flawed die preparation and are repeated across multiple coins, and collectors go absolutely wild for them. Now think of off-center strikes where Lincoln's face is shifted to one side, leaving a blank crescent of metal on the edge, or broad strike errors where the coin was pressed outside the restraining collar, causing it to spread out like a pancake. And then imagine even rarer mistakes like wrong planchet errors, where instead of being struck on the copper-plated zinc blank, the coin was struck on a dime planchet or even on a foreign coin blank, instantly making it an anomaly with mismatched size, weight, and appearance. Such pieces are worth unimaginable sums, and the 2017 P cents with these dramatic mistakes have been reported in tiny numbers, their scarcity pushing their value sky high until collectors are willing to pay millions just to own one. And the fascination grows even bigger when you consider transitional errors, where leftover blanks from previous years or different denominations were mistakenly used in 2017. These transitional planchet errors create coins that simply should not exist, and because of the historical significance of the P mint mark in 2017, these errors become even more meaningful, turning each coin into a story, a piece of history, and a priceless artifact all at once. And what makes the value hit $20 million is not just the error, but the combination of factors like error type, rarity, and pristine condition, because grading agencies like PCGS and NGC play a vital role in authenticating and grading these coins. And when one of these unique era 2017 p cents is graded at the highest levels like MS69 or MS70, its desirability multiplies instantly. Collectors know they are bidding on something that is virtually one of a kind. And that's when auctions turn into bidding wars. And in those bidding wars the price climbs and climbs until it reaches numbers like $20 million, shocking everyone and making headlines around the world. And that is why people continue to search their change, because the dream of finding one of these pennies is too powerful to resist. And imagine how exciting it would be to find a coin worth more than a luxury yacht sitting quietly in your coin jar. That dream is what keeps treasure hunters motivated and why the 2017 p penny continues to trend as one of the most viral stories in coin collecting today. But let's go even deeper into the possible mistakes that make this coin so extraordinary. Because there are examples of repunched mint marks where the P was stamped more than once, creating a ghost-like shadow effect. There are struck-through errors where grease, fibers, or even small fragments got between the die and the blank, leaving strange missing patches of design. There are die cracks and cuds where parts of the die broke off, leaving raised blobs or lines across the surface of the coin. And then there are mule errors, which are the rarest of the rare, where the obverse of a Lincoln cent could be accidentally paired with the reverse of a completely different denomination. And while such a mule coin is almost mythical in rarity, if one exists from 2017 with the P mint mark, it would instantly be worth tens of millions of dollars. And that is what makes the hunt for these coins so exciting. The possibilities are endless and the rewards are life-changing. Now think about the historical backdrop. In 2017, the Mint made a bold decision to honor its 225th anniversary by doing something it had never done before, placing the P mint mark on circulating Lincoln cents. And this alone makes every 2017 p cent collectible. But when you layer on the reality that minting machines were producing coins at incredible speed, tiny lapses in quality control led to errors slipping through. And those errors transformed what was already a unique coin into a multi-million-dollar treasure. And as the years pass and more people realize the significance of 2017, demand for these coins grows stronger, making them even more valuable because rarity plus demand equals astronomical prices. And the stories of these coins changing lives spread quickly across social media, where posts about rare pennies worth fortunes go viral overnight, inspiring millions to check their change and driving the hype higher and higher. And the hype itself feeds the value because the more people want them, the more competition there is at auctions, and the higher the prices climb until finally the 2017 p cent earns its title as a $20 million coin. And the scene of its auction is unforgettable, with experts analyzing every detail, collectors locking horns in bidding battles, and the crowd gasping as the numbers soar past expectations until the gavel comes down at $20 million, a penny turned into a treasure that outshines diamonds. And this is why people love these stories, because they remind us that even the smallest things can hold unimaginable value. So what does this mean for you? It means that you could be sitting on one of these treasures right now without even realizing it, because billions of 2017 p cents were minted, and while the vast majority are ordinary, a handful of rare era coins are hiding out there waiting to be discovered. Maybe in your pocket change, maybe in your coin jar, or maybe tucked away in a drawer. And the only way to know is to check, because if you happen to find one of these unique treasures, you could be holding the key to life-changing wealth. And that is the magic of coin collecting, the thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovery, and the possibility of finding fortune where you least expect it. And as long as stories like the 2017 p penny continue to spread, people will keep searching, and the legend will continue to grow, making this coin not just a piece of metal but a symbol of hope, luck, and hidden treasure. So as we close this journey into the unbelievable story of the 2017 p 1 cent coin worth $20 million because of its rare errors and mistakes, remember to always keep your eyes open, check your change, and treasure the small things, because they just might turn out to be extraordinary. And if you enjoyed learning about this amazing coin and the incredible world of hidden treasures, make sure you like this video. Subscribe for more stories about rare coins and priceless discoveries, And stay tuned as we bring you more jaw-dropping tales where small change becomes big money.